All right, so today's video is gonna be a little bit different. I decided to like change the scenery because I just moved to Miami, and I feel like one of the coolest things about living in Miami is obviously the view. Like, as y'all can see, the view just looks beautiful. Like, it's just the whole city. You got the oceans, you got the ports, you got the skyscrapers, you got the penthouses. You even got nice cars downstairs. I don't know if we're gonna hear any like cool ones today, but today, as you guys seen by the title, we're gonna be talking about 5 things you must do to become the best you. Not become a better you, the best you. The best, absolute best you. Because a lot of people do certain things that can make them better, but let's just say it's not the best version of you. All right, so we're gonna go through this list of 5 things. Make sure you guys pen and pencil. This time I'm not on the PC, so it's gonna be a little bit different. It's my first time doing a video like this, but let's just get right into it. So the first thing, vision. All right, you need a clear vision. You need clear goals. You need to know where you're going. When you load up Google Maps, when you load, all right, you get in the car, right? When you get in the car, and let's just say you don't have the directions memorized to wherever you're going. Let's say it's a 30 minute drive. All right, let's say 30-minute drive, okay? Let's just say we're going to like the store. All right, the store is 30 minutes away. You got all these streets, like on the streets, you can go like straight, take a right, you can take a left, you can keep going straight, you can do a U-turn, you can go around, you can go through a roundabout. You can do, like, you have multiple different ways that you can go, okay? And if you don't have a clear vision on where the store is at, you're gonna be lost, okay? So when you load up Google Maps, when you load up the directions, when you load up the place where you wanna go, it gives you the best, most efficient route. So imagine you hop in the car and you're in a new city. You don't know where the store is at, where you're trying to go. You don't know where your destination's at. And let's just say you hop in the car and you're like, let me just drive. Let me just see where we go. Let me just go with the flow. Let me just drive until we find this store, okay? You're gonna get lost. Let's just say the store is like actually in a complex city where like you actually need Google Maps to actually navigate. You're gonna get lost if you don't have directions. If you don't have directions, the most efficient route, you're going to be lost. And the first scripture that we have for that is Proverbs 29:18. It said, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. So if we break this scripture down, it says, where there's no vision, the people perish. So when you don't have a vision, if you don't know where you're going in life, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have goals, if you don't have an idea of what you want to do, it says the people perish. Perish means die. So the Bible literally tells you, if you don't have goals, if you don't have a roadmap, if you don't have directions, you're cooked. You're cooked. Like, you're actually cooked, okay? Like, it's not good to just go with the flow. You need to have intention. You need to be intentional. You need to know where you're going, all right? So if we break this down even more, let's just say someone's in the desert. You're doing a road trip. Let's say you're doing a road trip and you're going from a city to another city and it's a 4-hour drive. Let's say you try to do that with no map. You try to do that with no Apple Maps, no Google Maps. Oh my gosh. I thought I heard a nice car. But let's just say you're trying to do that with no maps. 4-hour drive. By the time you even get on the road 2 hours in, let's just say you run out of gas. You're cooked. Okay? You're cooked. You're actually cooked. So it's always important to have directions, have a roadmap, have directions, goals, all those different things, okay? Very important. If you don't, the Bible literally says, without a vision, you're going to perish. The people perish, okay? But he that keepeth the law, happy is he, okay? He that keepeth the law, if we just break down what law is the thing that keeps you in order. It's the thing that gives you, it's like a blueprint on how to be successful. That's what laws are. It's a blueprint on how to be like righteous, how to be successful, how to navigate life, all right? For example, Yahweh, which is the name of God, basically created laws that teach you how to live. And if you break the laws, it's not that he just told you not to, it's not that he made these laws for no reason. He made these laws because if you break the laws, you're going to do more damage to yourself than to anyone else. For example, the law, like, you shouldn't eat pork. You shouldn't eat pork because of things that pork does on this earth. That's the reason why you shouldn't eat pork. He didn't just say that because he didn't like the animal. There's a reason for every single law, every single thing every single rule in this world, okay? There's a reason. So if you keep order in your life, if you just keep order, if you stick to the laws, you're gonna be good. So you always need to live by, like, the reason why I brought this up, okay, is important when you're on your goals, when you're trying to do your roadmap, when you're trying to navigate to your desired destination. It's good to have laws and rules that keep you in order, okay? Because everyone could become a billionaire tomorrow. I'm not gonna say everyone. I'm not gonna say, okay, let's just say you wanna be rich. That's your ultimate, that's your goal. That's your biggest goal, financial freedom. Everyone can find a way to become financially free. But are you gonna be happy with the way that you get there? Because a lot of people are probably gonna do some immoral stuff. They're probably gonna do some evil things. Like you could be rich multiple different ways. That's why it's important to have laws and to have order in your life and have like a moral code. The best moral code for me is the laws of the Bible. I think that's the best, most efficient, and most, I'm trying to think of a word right now. And there's cars in the background revving like crazy. Like what the heck? What type of car is revving right now, bro? All right. But anyways, yeah, it's always good to have like a moral code. I personally just use the Bible's laws as my moral code because it's already written. It's already proven to work. It's divine. It's divine teachings, divine writings. So I just go by that. And Yahweh created it himself. And I just go by that. But anyways, so you need a clear vision. You need a clear path. Without vision, the people perish. So you need a vision. The best way to do this, create a vision board, pencil and paper. You could write down all the goals, where you want to be. You need to know where do you want to be in a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Where do you want to be at? Where do you want to be tomorrow? Okay? Because if you have no goals, no nothing, you're just going with the flow. And when you go with the flow, you can end up anywhere. You could literally end up anywhere. So you don't want to go with the flow. You want to have intention. Live intentionally, all right? So the next thing. Actually, I just thought about that, going with the flow. Imagine it's like a river, right? And all the fishes go with the flow. All right, let's just say all the fishes are going with the flow in the river. Boom, they're just going with the flow. They're just swimming normally. And let's say you have one fish that knows exactly where he's going. Like he's navigating through the river perfectly. But then you have another fish, he just going with the flow of the river. And this is like a low-key a parable, but the fishes that are just going with the flow, they're going to end up in a net. They're going to end up in a fisher's net. They're going to be dinner. They're going to be cooked. They're going to be literally cooked on the stove in the next 5 hours. So how that compares to real life, okay? That was a pretty deep parable, I would say. How that connects to real life. This world, the people of this world is like it's like a body. It's like a body of water, right? And every single day there's new trends, there's new like society morals, society thinks in a certain way, and everyone kind of just goes with the flow. All right, every single year there's new ways that society thinks as a whole, whether they think it's good or bad, and everyone just goes with the flow of society. You want to be the person that can live amongst society but can live with intention. You want to live and know the difference between what you should and shouldn't be doing, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people are out here doing the craziest things just because society said it's okay. Okay? So you need to have your own, not your own morals, but you need to go by morals. You need to have morals. You need to have intentions in every single thing that you do. Do not be the fish that's in the river in this world. Don't be the fish that's in this river, which is equal to a person in this world that ends up getting caught in the net because they had no vision, no goals, no nothing. And then you end up getting cooked. All right? If the people that get that. All right? But anyways, the second thing that we're going to talk about in today's video is the second thing is change yourself, reinvent yourself. The new you can't do. Dang, why did I write it like that? Change yourself, reinvent yourself. The new you. Yo, I wrote this so fast, and when I'm reading it, I wrote it badly. Okay. Okay, I get it. All right, change yourself, reinvent yourself, okay? You need to change yourself and reinvent yourself. The new you can't thrive if you're conformed to your old environment, okay? You need true change. And the reason why I said this is there's a scripture, it's Romans 12:2. It says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. All right, God, Yahweh. I say, when I read God in the Bible, I read Yahweh, okay? Because that's his personal name. But anyways, what this scripture means, okay, I'm gonna break it down, because everything that we do, I make sure to go off the Bible so I can have something that's valid to base off all the things that I speak about in the videos and all that stuff. But anyways, so be not conformed to this world. So imagine you're a person that's changing. Let's say you're going from a poor mentality. Let's say you're going from a poor mentality to a rich mentality. So that's you. Let's just say yourself, you're doing that. You're going from a poor to a rich mentality. And let's just say you're still in the hood. Okay? You're still in the hood. But you're trying to transform your life and transform your mental to this rich environment. But your physical body is not there yet. So you're this person. You can't conform to your environment if you're a person changing. And that might be hard. That's a really hard thing for people that aren't used to it. But you have to learn how to not conform to your old environment. So for example, all right, let me think of an example right now. All right, okay, this is a perfect one. All right, so a caterpillar has to evolve to a butterfly, right? So a caterpillar, originally the caterpillar, once he lives his life, he gets born into this earth, and then he has to go to cocoon and become a butterfly, okay? So imagine he does that. Imagine he does all that work to become a butterfly. He goes to the cocoon, becomes a butterfly. Imagine he's a butterfly. He wants to be a butterfly. But as a butterfly, once he becomes that butterfly, he's conforming himself to the ways in the environment of a caterpillar. Because a butterfly can fly. A butterfly can literally fly around, flap his wings. He's not restricted. But a caterpillar, he has to move slow. He has to crawl on earth. He has to move slow. Like, he's literally stuck on earth, crawling. He's like vulnerable. He's really vulnerable. He's not free at all. So imagine if this butterfly decided, okay, since I used to be a butterfly, let me just crawl. Even though I got wings now, let me just crawl, because that's what I'm used to. All right, this goes to, I'm gonna relate this to real life now. So imagine you're going from poor to rich, and you eventually have to become rich in your mind before you actually materialize it in real life. So boom, you become rich, but you're still in your old environment, because you literally gotta physically move out of your environment to get into the next rich environment. So boom, you're there. And let's just say your family, your old friends, all the people that you knew, who knew you as that poor self, are still trying to hold you back, and they're treating you as your poor self. They're still conforming you to the person that they once knew. That's why it's important to not conform yourself to your old environment. You have to let go. You have to fully transform. Like, if you're gonna transform, you have to fully transform. You can't do it halfway. You can't be lukewarm with it. You have to go. Like, you have to just jump. All right? Okay, saying jump on this balcony is kind of crazy. Like, sometimes when I look down, I be overthinking. I be like, dang, that's a far fall. But I'm chilling though. I'm chilling. All right, but anyways, the third thing, okay? The third thing. Wait, also on that, what good is it for the caterpillar to evolve to a butterfly, get wings, start moving different physically, mentally, and we can say spiritually? He gets all these different things just for him to want to crawl. That's like, imagine you get a bunch of skills and talents and you decide not to use them. You decide to just stay at yourself that you're comfortable with and conform to the world. Also, another part of conforming. So imagine you're like going from poor to rich, And let's just say your family's not used to spending money. Like, for you to be rich, you have to spend money. You have to like take risks and profit off those risks. You have to invest, get your money back from those investments. You have to invest into your business, get money back from those investments, all those things of that nature, okay? So imagine you tell your parents, let's just say you start building a business, you're in the hood still, you build a business, it's like, you have to throw $5,000 to buy some inventory for your business. This is just an example. And you tell your parents and your old family and your friends that, and they're not used to spending any money. They're not used to spending money because, let's just say they're poor. They're poor mentally, and they're not used to that. So when you tell them that, the moment that you tell them, oh, I'm about to spend $5,000 to get inventory for my new business, they're like, 5,000? Nah, that's a little too much. I don't think you should do that. Like, they start telling you negative stuff because that's just what they're used to, okay? They're not used to you spending $5,000. They're probably used to you not having $5,000, but once you have it now, and you tell them your plans, and you're willing to take that risk, you're willing to jump, are you gonna let them hold you back and not jump? Are you gonna let them hold you back and put fear into you? Are you gonna let them hold you back overall? So that's why the scripture said not to conform to the world. So you don't want to conform to the world. You don't want the world to push off their thoughts to form your reality, especially if their thoughts aren't correct. Okay? So yeah. But anyways, the third thing to become the best version of yourself is align yourself with God, Yahweh's will. Okay? And the reason why I wrote this is for two scriptures, okay? We have Matthew 19:26. It says, but Yahweh beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with Yahweh all things are possible. So the reason why I said align yourself with Yahweh's will, if you don't align yourself with the person that created every single thing on this planet's will, like imagine if you're going against the grain. Imagine if you're the opposition. Imagine if you're trying to oppose the person that literally created everything that makes the seasons and the sun and the moon go down, up and down. Imagine you're trying to go against him. You're gonna fail. Like, you can't go against the person that created everything. Okay? You just can't. You're gonna lose every time. Okay? He has more power. He created all of this. He created all of this. And humans, the most they can create is probably like cities. But he created the whole earth. You just can't oppose him. You can't go against him. It just doesn't make sense. You're gonna lose, okay? So you always wanna align yourself with Yahweh's will. That's why it's also important to follow the laws of the Bible, because a lot of the times, if you just follow the laws of the Bible, you're gonna end up aligning yourself with his will naturally, because he made the laws. As long as you do the laws and you follow the laws, and yeah, as long as you follow the laws, you're good. It's the moment when you want to start being separate and being like a separate person from Yahweh, that's when things start going wrong. That's when things start going wrong. You always want to include Yahweh in all the things that you do. Always just pray to him, talk to him. And yeah, the next thing, we have Proverbs 3:5-6. It says, trust in Yahweh with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So if you just acknowledge Yahweh, like before you do something, if you just acknowledge Yahweh, if you're like, Yahweh, God Yahweh, I don't know how to do this. Can you please make it possible for me? Boom, once you say that prayer, something's gonna spark up that's gonna make whatever you had planned possible. Okay? Let's just say, for example, let's just say you wanna buy this building right here. I don't even know if y'all can see it. Let's just say you wanna buy this building, or you want some real estate. And then boom, it's like you do that prayer like, Yahweh, I want some real estate. I wanna buy this whole building right here. And then boom, one day you're just working out in the gym and then you meet the owner of this building. And he's like, oh, I'm looking for investors. I'm looking to sell the building right now. And then boom, it's like, after you said that prayer, the things that aren't possible, because it's not possible to a human, to like a normal person, to buy this. It's not possible. Like, you got to be like a very special type of person. But when you apply and add Yahweh into it, add God, Yahweh, then it's like anything is possible. Okay? So next, we have the fourth thing. Okay, the fourth thing is to stop looking back. To stop looking back. And we have Genesis 19:26. Okay? And it says, but his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And then we have Luke 9:62. And it says, and Yahweh said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. All right? So imagine you get blessed. Imagine you finally are on that destination to wherever. All right, remember in the first part of this video when I was talking about how, like, when you're on Google Maps and you're trying to go somewhere, you just put it in the location. So imagine you put a location in on Google Maps and you're heading there, 4-hour drive, road trip. And imagine you're like halfway there. And once you're halfway there, you just get this random thought. You start doubting yourself. You're like, dang, like, I don't know if I should even go here no more. Like, you start getting scared. You start doubting. You're like, I don't even know I should go here no more. And then you just go back home. What was the point of driving 2 hours? And this is like, guys, this is like a story. This is a figurative story that you can apply to whatever situations you guys have in real life. What was the point of driving that far, doing all that work to just turn back? It makes no sense. It just doesn't make sense at all. All right. So if we apply this to another story, imagine, let's just do that poor to rich story again. All right. Imagine you're trying to go from poor to rich. You're working day and night trying to get richer. You're working day and night towards your business. You're working. You're doing all these prayers. You're doing all these visualizations, gratitude notebooks. You're doing a vision board. You're doing all these different things to change your life. And let's just say you're this close from changing your life. And then boom, one thing happens and you're like, nah, it's all good. I'm shutting it all down. I'm shutting everything down. You're just going back to your old life. You're going back to just doing whatever you were doing before. See, when you go back to doing whatever you did before, the fact that you were almost out and now you try to go back is going to be 100 times worse now. Let's just say, yeah, it's just, if you get that, you get that. All right. So you never want to turn back. If you try to do something, just go for it, bro. Just go for it. As long as it's like morally correct and it's in Yahweh's will, just go for it. Especially if everything's lining up for you to do it. You don't want to let doubt or fear make you turn back and go back on like your actions in a way. All right. So the fifth thing that we have, one thing that can make you the best version of yourself is, I like doing like gratitude and gratitude, like a gratitude notebook, showing your gratitude back to Yahweh, and then your prayers. Okay, praying to Yahweh. Obviously, a lot of people know to pray, but a lot of people probably don't do it correctly. Okay, but anyways, the scripture that I have for that, it says, "Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh, for He is good, for His mercy endureth forever." I feel like I'm getting bit by mosquitoes out here, bro. They bugging. All right, but anyways, His mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks unto the God of gods, for His mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks to the Lord of lords, for His mercy endureth forever. So right here, it says give thanks. You always want to pray. Remember, it said acknowledge Him in all your ways. So you want to acknowledge Him in all your ways. And then once you actually see things work out for you in like a divine way, like, bro, I'm getting bit, bro. I don't know if I'm tweaking. Yo, I just feel mosquitoes or something like touching me. They're just bothering me. All right, so imagine you pray. You're like, please allow me to do this thing. And then it finally happens in a way that's like, you just know that's from God. That's from Yahweh. Imagine that happens. After, you just want to give thanks. Like, give thanks. Like, if someone opens a door for you, you say thank you all the time. So why can't you do that for Yahweh? Okay? Which is that simple. And then also, gratitude notebook. When you do a gratitude notebook, it can actually help your frequency. It puts you in like a frequency of like abundance in a way. If you're grateful for certain things that happen in your life on the day-to-day basis, and you actually write it down and actually put like thought towards it, it puts you in a different frequency that will help you to keep winning, if that makes sense. So you always want to you always want to pray, show you that you're grateful, and just keep going, okay? But anyways, that's all the 5 things that I have today. Yeah, that's all the 5 things that I have today. If you guys like these type videos where I'm like outside and kind of like freestyling in a way, just let me know in the comment sections. But praise Yahweh. All the knowledge comes from Yahweh. Yeah, all credit, everything, all knowledge, since it's from the Bible, is from Yahweh, okay? So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, though.